Assalamualaikum and good day to you. I am Nabil, the lecturer for the next part of this course. I hope by this moment you have developed a fair understanding in engineering ethics and how it affects your judgment and your actions throughout your professional engineering works. Globalization and sustainability are among the issues need to be addressed by the present engineers. Thus, we strongly believe that the next topic, safety in engineering, shall give you sufficient details on how to manage risk and to create a safety culture throughout your organization. You will learn the powerful safety management tool, which is termed as HIRAC, hazard identification, risk assessment, and risk control. Enjoy the course. Assalamualaikum and good day to you. I'm Nabil, your host for today's lecture of Engineers in Society. I hope you already went through the concept of safety in engineering in the given notes. It is fairly important that you understand why we need to manage safety and health program at our workplace. Now, you are going to learn about hazard identification, which is the first stage in risk management. There are 3 stages in risk management. But first, you have to understand the definition of risk and danger. Risk is a combination of the probability that a particular hazardous event will occur and the severity of the harm to health, property, or environment caused by the event. The keywords here are probability and severity. Therefore, you can express risk equals to probability times severity. Danger expresses the relative exposure to hazard. There are 3 stages in risk management. The first stage is the hazard identification, where one needs to identify undesired events that lead to the materialization of hazard and the mechanism by which those undesired events could occur. The first stage is a very crucial step to be performed carefully in order to ensure that you have considered every little detail of the workplace activities. That's why the experienced workers are the most appropriate personnel to perform this stage. The second stage is the risk assessment to prioritize the risk using either qualitative or quantitative methods. The third stage is the risk control actions to be carried out based on the assessment. Now, we shall start with hazard identification. There are 6 types of hazards as shown in the slide. The first type is physical hazards. Physical hazards are things or agents that may come into contact with our body that has the potential of harming us. For example, height, force, and noise. They are the things that can be seen or forces that can be felt by our body. An example of common physical hazard in workplace is handling loads manually. Beside the weight factor, there are other factors contribute to the manual handling accident. Another common physical hazard in the industry is work-related upper limb disorder or WRULD. WRULD is caused by repetitive movements in daily work activities that leads to various occupational diseases. These are some of the factors associated with WRULD. Noise hazard is also very common, especially at construction sites and manufacturing sectors. As an engineer, you should know the right decibel level of your workplace to control the hazard and ensure a safe working environment. If changing the process or equipment is not practicable to control the noise, always ensure that proper PPE is given to and worn by the affected workers. You should know the noise reduction rate value of the given PPE so that it would efficiently protect the workers from the noise. Vibration is also quite a common physical hazard in workplace. Take a look at this example. Can you identify the hazards? Subsequently, the physical hazards have led to psychological hazards, as the body are experiencing simultaneous physical hazards. The next hazard type is the chemical hazard. Chemical means chemical elements or compounds or mixtures of both, either natural or synthetic, but does not include the microorganisms. The chemical became a hazard when it has inherent potential of harming people, property, or the environment. These are the routes of entry of toxic agents into our body. The toxic agents could enter the body by inhalation via mouth and nose, ingestion via mouth, or injection through skin. The toxic effects can be either acute or chronic based on the chemical properties of the toxic itself and the condition parameters, for example, quantity, frequency, and temperature when the toxic made contact to the body. The following slides are the common types of toxic effect normally occur when exposed to a certain toxic agent. Irritations, CNS depression, asphyxia, cancer, pneumoconiosis, reproductive effect, and systemic poisons, which may affect the whole body or at least a multiple of organs. Again, like I said earlier, these are the few factors that attribute to the toxic effect, which are classified as follows. Factors related to the agent, factors related to the exposure situation, and factors related to the individuals. This is an example of construction materials that could lead to occupational diseases. Some items, for example asbestos, have been prohibited from use due to its damage to our lungs. Some industries applied a system called Workplace Hazardous Material Information System, or WHMIS, to ensure correct handling of hazardous materials. The three elements in the system are the labeling of containers, the MSDSs, and the training programs. Two related materials of the system are the symbols and the MSDSs. There are about 8 symbols of materials based on their hazard identification. MSDS is a controlled document filled with detailed information about a specific chemical or material. This document is released by the manufacturer for end-user reference. It provides various information about the chemical or material being handled, such as physical and chemical properties, health hazards, handling and emergency response procedures. This is an example of MSDS. The chemical is nitric acid 70% produced by ABC Rubber Company. These are some of the info in the MSDS. When do you use an MSDS? Whenever you need information that is not included on the product label. But it is essential that you read them first prior to handling the material so that you will know what to do when the need arises. Now let's move to the next type of hazards, which is biological hazards. Biological hazards are organic substances that pose a threat to the health of humans and other living organisms. These are several groups of biological hazards: microorganisms, arthropods, animals, toxins, and allergens. Now, how about crocodiles? Are they a biological hazard? Well, in my opinion, I believe they pose more of a physical hazard rather than biological because they have enormous force to bring us down using their jaws and tails. The fourth hazard types is the electrical hazard, such as current overloads, short circuits, and etc. Various current conditions may produce various effects, starting from a mild sensation to a third-degree burns. Next is the radiation hazards, which normally affect our skin and eye. Welding process is an example of radiation hazard normally occur in the industry. That is why it is crucial for the welders to wear a UV protection sunglasses during the welding process. The last type is the psychological hazard. This hazard has the potential of harming our safety and health both physically and mentally. There are three types of occupational stress: physical, mental, and emotional. Frustration, lack of job satisfaction, job insecurity, poor relationships. Those are among the factors that causes the occupational stress. Other causes are work culture, ergonomic issue, and also financial issue. So how do humans react to these stresses? Normally there are three stages involved. The first one is the alarm stage. And then followed by the resistance stage. And finally, the exhaustion stage. At the end of this stage, the outcomes could be positive or negative, depending on the person's resilience and mental power. Now, can you identify the hazards associated with the work? This is the last slide for this session. I hope it is worth your time. You may read more about the topic to help you in the study. Thank you and have a nice day.